Hello and welcome to my chess algorithm science lab. So today our topic is about analysis and observation of algorithms. So you can learn a lot of things if you analyze and observe, and I will show you three powerful examples today. Okay, those three you will find it very instructive, and definitely you can learn something from them. Okay, so algorithms uh, are very useful, to get tactically strong and to spot the flaw mainly. Okay, so it gives you an idea, it shows you the flaw in the position. Most of the time, when there is a flaw, it can show. Okay, so but you need to use it correctly. Otherwise, you could also mess up your own game. As I earlier told, originality is also needed. Should know the should have some originality, and then you should combine your skills with algo and perfect it. Okay. So to stay objective, okay. So we'll see how things works practically. So you can see the board now. You can have a quick look at this position. Okay. If you observe, black has got quite a lot of weakness on the light squares. Okay, and we need to exploit this. Okay, and the algorithm, the main thing is when they see something forced. Okay, when they see a forced continuation, Gary Kasparov says they play like God. That means they don't give any second chance. Okay, so when something they see forced and it goes for it. Okay, and mostly it finishes the game. So the attack will end very quickly. There won't be any chance. There is no counter chance, etc. It's if its weakness is given means then it's over. Okay, so this is one case. You can see the light squares are weak here. There's no pawns to defend the light squares. Okay, so knight went to h4 earlier, and you can see black played rook e8. So the plan is, you can see the plan is queen is going to come to h5 and the bishop is going to get to d3, and it's going to target all the light squares. Okay, so we can see queen to h5. So attack on the light square continues. Okay, so black plays bishop e6, trying to defend some of the squares, but anyway there's no pawn power. Like most of the pawns are fixed on the dark color. Only this piece can fight, but we have more attackers. Okay, and there's only one defender, so the attack is going to be more strong. Now you can see bishop came to d3, too powerful. Once the bishop comes to d3, we already have queen coming to g6, and if they play bishop f7, we can go queen f5. So let's say they play c6. Anyway, we can go queen g6. So strong invasion. And now queen h7 is a strong threat. So let's say they move king f8. Now, one important idea. You need to get rid of the defenders, which defends the weak squares. Here you see the light squares are weak. Okay, the light squares, you can see already, you can see that they are weak. Okay, and the bishop is the defender. So what we can do, we can just play knight f5. g7 is very vulnerable now, so knight f5. Also it unlocks the rook, so they have to take it, otherwise we'll take on g7. So let's say they capture and we capture, and the bishop a6 is coming now. Again the attack is going, so they have to defend the e6, so therefore they have to play bd6. And now you can see what is coming here. You can think for a moment, and you can see clearly if you analyze deeply. Okay, the attack is so strong here, and the next move ends the game. Can you spot it? Okay, so rook h6, demolishing the pawn structure. Okay, so the point is, if they take gh6, we have queen h6 check, and there are few options. King can go to g8 or f7 or e7. E7 is the weakest option because if they go to e7, it's a direct mate, queen g7. So this is the weakest option among the three options. Okay, so let's say a king g8. Okay, king f7, I'll show what happens, because if they play king f7, so you have to combine the pieces. So this is a excellent coordination. Bishop to g6. The point is king won't be able to go to g8 because we have strong power there. So queen h7 and then queen f7 mates. So therefore king has to go to e6 or e7. Let's say they go to e7. Now you see the coordination. We need to keep an eye on the fy square. So queen to h7. Okay. If king goes to e6, we have bishop f5. So very strong attack, and it leads to mate. See the coordination. Okay. So after g6, queen h6, let's try king to g8. In this case, we can get the same position with this bishop maneuver shift here. So you see the bishop shift to h7. This is a very strong kind of maneuver. Like they have to go king f7 forced. Okay, and then we get the same position, bishop g6. You see the point here? If they go there, we need to gain control over the e6, so we can do it by queen h7, and then the king has to go to e6, and then bishop goes to f5. Very strong, isn't it? Okay, so we'll go to another example. Okay. Okay, you can have a look at this position. This position came from the Slav defense, and black controls the center. Okay, with the pieces, but there's no pawn. But they are holding with the pieces. But the only drawback is black king is still in the center. You can see that. So here, as I told you, when they see something more forced, they play like a god. Okay, they don't give second chance and they go for the attack. Okay, so here you can see they are too good in opening lines and exploiting the weakness. Okay, so here we need to attack. If we don't attack, then they will get enough time to mobilize their pieces. They can go bishop c5 or bishop e7 and then castle. Okay, so basically we need to attack here. So to attack, we need to open lines. So therefore, we need to go e5. This is very strong because queen e5, you can see it's not strong, because if they play, we have rook e1 wins on spot. Okay, so therefore e5 is very strong, so they cannot like move back. If they move back also, we have e6 and attack is coming. Okay, so let's say they capture with a knight. Okay, so now bishop goes to f4. So the idea is to take on e5, and then after they take, we can play rook n. For instance, let me make some random moves. These are very weak moves. Okay, just for educational purpose, to demonstrate, I'm just showing. So take, and this is a threat. Okay, so therefore bishop f4 has a strong threat. You see, and okay, so let's say they have few options. If they go bishop e7, again we increase the attack on e5. So rook can go to e1. If they go knight d7, then we have knight f5, and it's over. Okay, I mean the queen is hanging. Okay, so I just saw knight f5 is coming. Okay, this is generally this is positional one, but directly the queen is hanging, so they can't play this knight. They have to go here, knight fd7, and then again knight f5. See, attacking. So they can't get away with castling. Okay, and also if they move the piece something like this, you see, it's open. Right. So many tactical ideas are there. You can take on e5 and then play f4. That is the simplest one. Also, Other complex ideas are also there. 94, these are quite complex but very instructive one. For instance, if they castle, you can just take on f6, so they have to break the, I mean ruin the pawn chain. So pawn takes, and you see the pawn chain is broken, so queen goes to h5. So easy attack. Knight e7 is coming. Okay, so many weakness. Okay, so it's lost, so black won't be able to survive the attack. So e5, knight e5, and we have to go bishop f4. So let's say they castle queen side. Okay, so still you see the king is very vulnerable on the c8 because we have potential opening of the line, either a file or the c file. Something is going to open for sure. Okay, so how we can continue the attack is we can go bishop f5, again attack, very strong. Okay, so now they have few options. Let's say if they go king b8, not difficult to spot. We have a strong discovery attack. So bishop takes e5, takes, and knight c6. It's over. See? Okay, so they won't be able to move there. Also, this knight is pinned, so they can't move him. So they have to move knight fd7. This is also pinned, so both the knights are pinned by both the bishops. Okay, so we can just open the line. We can just go a b5. So let's say they take with the pawn. New open line is there. So rook c1 is a strong threat, but we don't give any timing for them. So you see rook e1, attack on e5. The point is, if bishop comes to d6, the bishop is very vulnerable. We can make a strong sacrifice. So knight c into b5. This is more accurate, even though both achieves the same result. This is more accurate because we are opening the c line. So let's say they take, and then we can take knight b5. And you see knight d6 is coming, and we have all threats. Okay, it's over. Okay, so therefore ab5, they have to take cb5 and rook e1. So let's say they play f6. Okay, so they try to create a stronghold with the pawn. Okay, now how can we continue the attack? So f6 basically weakens the e6 square. So one simple idea is knight e6, but we can also play rook c1. First we can get all the pieces, and when they go, knight e6 is one simple idea. See, it's lost. Okay, so you can see like if the development is slow, you can see the punishment because they will open the line and they will attack very quickly. Okay, they are too good at spotting the vulnerable points. Okay, okay, one more example. Okay, we have a position like this. You can see they also like play for the initiative. Like they don't take passive positions at all. When attack is coming, they try to invade the opponent's position. You see, actually a5 is played with the idea to play b4. So basically, if they play b4, the knight has to go to a weak square, and they balance it. They don't go for a weak square like e2. E2 is not weak. Anyway, we can regroup, but other squares are weak. Okay, but they try to go forward. Okay, b4 is coming, so they will try to hold this square. Okay, so you can see, so queen e2. Now they are targeting the pawn on b5. Okay, so b4 comes, and then they make a strong hold on b5. So knight goes to b5, and this is a very strong hold. Okay, so if rook b8 comes, we can move. There is square, so no need to worry here. There is square here. So let's say black plays a tricky move, e5. Okay, so e5 blocks this, I mean takes the square. So the knight could be a potential target here. Okay, so that creates a new weakness. Okay, on this diagonal. So now when the rook goes to b8, the knight has to find a better square. So we can unlock this one, and also we can take advantage of the weakened diagonal. So see, bishop c4. We have to continue like this. This is very strong. Okay, bishop c4. Let's say they play rook d8, defending the d6. Okay, so now still the king is in the center. So we need to quickly open lines. Okay, so we can take on e5. So they have two options to take with the d pawn or the f pawn. So d pawn, you can understand here, if you observe, like rook d1 is tempo, and they are too good in tempos also. So if bishop d8, we have knight d6. That's one simple way to win. And king d8, rook d1 is coming. So you see, one more tempo is there. Okay. So not difficult one to spot. This is quite easy. Okay. And if they go king c8, knight d6, so many attacks keeps on coming. Takes, you can, and followed by this one, or directly also you can play bishop a6. Very bad. This is very bad for black. Okay, so let's say they capture with the f pawn, and the rook line is open, and rook f1 attacks, but they are good in timing also. Like once there is more open lines and there's no piece coordination, they go for a strong attack here. So you see, bishop f7, the way to go. So now king has to take. Okay, and then we have queen to h5 check. Queen h5 check is more strong. Rook f1 is too strong. Yeah, queen h5 is also there. Both are equally strong. We can consider like that. Okay, so rook f1, because if the king goes something like g6, let's say, we have queen g4 attack. They have to block. d6 is one weakness you have to remember, and queen f5 is there, pawn push is there. So many attacks, right? And rook left also. So this won't sustain long. You see, so many invasion points. Okay, so this is too good. This is one simple continuation which is too good. Okay, so let's go back. Anyway, the king is vulnerable in such lines. So king f7, we have rook f1. Let's say they go king to e8, and again attack on the diagonal. So queen h5 check. So king has to go to d7. Now you can see the knight is holding the dark squares, so they have the mobility. Only the king can go there. Okay, so therefore we can play queen to f5 check, and then the king has to go to e8, and then queen f7 check. So now the bishop is pinned, so that means they won't be able to really defend the d6 pawn, and you see the king is exposed. So therefore knight d6, very strong. So we get a lot of discovery. So queen has to go back, and then knight to c4, again attacking. King has to go to c8. Okay, and then they take everything with tempo. You see, they don't normally take like this. They take with the tempo. So queen to e6, very good move. Okay, attacking the c6. So if the bishop goes there, you can see this open line, but we need to go knight b6, because queen a6, queen will block. So knight to b6, very strong. Okay, and knight b6, king b7, and once again knight takes d7, again attacking the queen, and this bishop is hanging, and you see so many threats. So queen has to go to c7, but then it's too late, because we can always take the piece. So there's a free piece, you see. In open position, when the king is exposed, how they attack, they don't give any second chance. Okay, so for tactical purpose, you can use algorithms to improve your chess, mainly in finding the flaw. Okay, and if you combine that with originality, okay, you can learn a lot of innovative ideas. Okay, so you should know how to use it exactly. Otherwise, as I mentioned, it could also take your current game very low. Okay, so there are methods in using this to your advantage, so you can learn one by one. So if you liked our lessons, you can subscribe, and if you have any questions or out, feel free to contact us. Okay, thank you.